Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be having a look at Star Trek Discovery, and these are basically the facts we know so far. So the first point which I'd like to raise is that it's going to take place in the Prime timeline, or Prime Universe, however you'd like to pronounce it. And it's obviously this means it's not going to be like the Kelvin timeline from the recent movies, so that's Star Trek 2000 from 2009, Star Trek Into Darkness from 2013, or Star Trek Beyond from 2016. One thing I think that might happen though is 1 to 2 episodes might take place in the Mirror Universe, like they did in Deep Space Nine, Enterprise and the original series. So it's expected in May 2017, and it's funny actually because Gene Roddenberry's son, Rod Roddenberry, is the executive producer, which will hopefully make it feel very sort of TOS like, which will be very interesting. The first season is going to be like 13 episodes long, and if I just arrange my paperwork correctly, it is based on an instance, like I quote this, an instance and an event in Star Trek history that has been talked about but never really explored. That's by James Hibberd, I think it is. Sorry if I've pronounced that name wrong. That's if Wikipedia is correct. It might be someone else who said that. But I'm thinking, will it be like The Next Generation, how the episodes are focusing on sort of different things? I know, like Best of Both Worlds, which was including like the Borg, they were very obviously similar, parts 1 and 2 of that, and then that later linked to obviously, what's it called, First Contact. But will it be like TNG in the fact that from episode to episode it doesn't necessarily, the episodes aren't, apart from them all being under the big sort of TNG sort of umbrella, it's not, obviously the episodes aren't necessarily linked. One day it might be Jean-Luc Picard negotiating a peace treaty, the next day it might be fighting off some bad Romulans or something like that. So it will be interesting to see if it's like that, or if it's focusing on like one thing, so that's like Voyager, DS9 or Enterprise, because they all focus on similar things. So like, for example, Voyager focused on getting back home to the Alpha Quadrant, DS9 was focusing on the Dominion War, and Enterprise mainly on the Xindi. Obviously it says here it's based on an incident in Star Trek history, so that suggests that it's based around one thing, which is going to obviously mean it's sort of similar to Voyager, DS9 and Enterprise, but that same sort of filter in there. So it's based 5 to 10 years before the events of the original series, so it will, will we see the Enterprise or the Enterprise A perhaps if it lasts long enough? So it will be very interesting, and apparently the USS Discovery is actually based on an unused design for the USS Enterprise in the unreleased film Star Trek Planet of the Titans, and it could have a flattened secondary hull, like a sort of in the final design, so that'll be interesting to see. So obviously let's move on to the casting. I need to arrange my notepad properly, sorry. So, casting. As we all know, Star Trek is very progressive, and it's a good thing, and we've seen that in the past and we're going to see that in the present as well, so I like that. It's going to feature minority characters and LGBTQ characters as well. It's confirmed there will be at least one openly gay character, which will be nice. There will be 3 Klingon actors, like have been confirmed. Obviously, they aren't Klingon themselves, but they're playing Klingons, and obviously, and oh, now it's got to pronounce his name correctly. Shazad Latif. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. He's playing Cole. Chris Obi is playing Deku. Now this one's very complicated. Dekuma, I think. And Mary Chietto is playing Laurel. I think I pronounced that one right, actually. So expect to see them in December 2017. So that will be very interesting. The second season might include Amanda Grayson, which played the mother of Spock, but it will definitely include characters, possibly different actors from the TOS era. I don't know if they're going to import over some of the Kelvin timeline actors. That'll be very interesting to see. And I suppose other stuff to take note of as well. There will be, like, the visual effects will look better but have a sort of similar layout to the TOS era. Like, it's got a similar design but better graphics is what I mean there. So yeah, as you can imagine, really, like the transporter beam, for example, they say that's going to be quite similar to the TOS transporter beam, but they're going to make it look fresh and modern, which is going to look really nice, hopefully. And so obviously I really want to watch this, and that's good for me because it will air on CBS, then later on CBS All Access, and Netflix. And in Netflix it's airing on 188 countries. So that will be very good. I'm looking forward to that because I've got a Netflix account. So, I mean, one last thing before I go, something that I've taken note of. I don't know about you, but it's either the warp themselves look like sort of similar to the Constitution refit missiles, or they sort of look like a Klingon sort of thing, really. It does look a bit sort of Klingon-ish. Obviously it's not green, but well, that's wrong, you know. But yeah, it does have that sort of Klingon-ish feel to it, so it'll be very interesting. Obviously when this does be released, or get released. So I think that basically rounds it up. Just have a quick look through the notes again, make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, the first season will have 13 episodes. It is coming May 2017, and like I say, it's on the Prime timeline, which is, well, what the original series is based on, and the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, all that sort of thing, and not the recent films that have came out from 2009 to 2016. And yeah, so that basically rounds it up. So if you have, well, CBS, I mean, I'm not American, but I know you have CBS All Access and the ordinary CBS. I'm not sure which one is the ordinary one because I've never actually looked at CBS before, but I certainly know that I've got a Netflix account, and I'm looking forward to seeing it on there. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I look very much forward to the new Star Trek series. So I'll see you all in the next video, or when there's an update to obviously what's going to happen. Well, yeah, so that'll be very interesting. The teaser trailer which you saw, that is concept. It is a concept sort of design as well, so that possibly won't be what it looks like when it's actually released, but it'll probably look something similar. So anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, and until then, thank you all and goodbye.